Ladies and gentlemen, let's get out the fucking frame, Jason.
I mean, it's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of the Blk Fri Podcast. You guys are amazing. I'm glad you returned.
Look at you.
Shout out to my co-host, my brother. Introduce yourself.
My man, Jason Arturo Stroud is off camera, making it all go. Tonight we're rotating it up a little bit. I'm your boy, Mr. More Than Funny himself, Dave Lester. Hi there. How are you? How are you spiritual? You good?
And today we have a very, very special guest. She's the host of the Chanel in the City podcast.
Chanel in the City.
Do we give out all your other credits, or we don't talk about it?
Stand-up comedian.
Stand-up comedian.
What else?
Producer.
Yes.
Television.
Actress.
Reality show star.
Simeon's nailing it. Wow, he knows more about me than most.
I don't know what you want to talk about.
That's amazing. This is great.
Dump it all out.
Balls deep on the Wikipedia.
Ladies and gentlemen, one time for Chanel Omari. Where's the applause? Hey, here we go.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. First of all, what a great podcast.
Oh, thank you.
I am honored to be on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
With some of the funniest men in the world.
Come on,
Oh my
is
God.
everybody's favorite uncle? Well, yeah. Guys, what you got?
Saying like,
So hot.
like, oh yeah, Tito's.
Little Tito's.
Thank you.
Bong bongs.
I'm gonna drink this without a
I have a
chaser.
1.5.
I'm gonna get fucked up. No, but really, thank you for having me on this podcast. This is amazing.
No, you're the perfect choice.
Right, you're our very first guest.
That's amazing. What an honor.
I think it had a lot to do. You have experience.
I do.
You have
Do I have
cachet,
experience?
and you have incredible highlights. How you doing?
I really need to get them done, but thank you for noticing. Thank you for noticing. No, thank you for that. I really, sometimes a girl needs to hear it, you know?
No, you're lovely.
Like the credits and shit.
No,
All right, so first.
And I also opened up for Cedric the Entertainer, not just bragging, but you know.
Okay.
That's a big deal in my career. It's a
white
big deal in my
colors?
career.
Yeah,
I'm not really white.
What was the.
Him and George Lopez did they did the reunion for, you know, like the Latin Kings.
Okay.
And they just, before COVID, they did something on the road. A bunch of like the OG comics, D.L. Hughley, George Lopez, Cedric the Entertainer, because my manager at the time was repping them. So,
wow.
you know, the podcast was doing well, and I was, you know, my stand-up comedy. I was cooking things, yeah. Took the chance.
Well, before you go any further, bang back your Uncle Tito.
Are you serious? Without a chaser?
Goddamn right. We're adults.
Oh, you were joking about the chaser?
Oh my God, let's see this. Now I'm gonna get real drunk.
First of all, it's a black podcast. You don't talk about chasers.
Right, we don't have any chasers.
We don't have
Black people don't do chasers?
No, but it'd be like the kids.
Yeah, Jewish people don't do chasers either, by the way.
It'd be like Henny and Capri Sun.
Yeah. And Middle Eastern, we don't
What else would it be?
You said you wanted juice.
The juice. Grape juice.
Let me get
Bring me one of the baby's juice.
Actually, this does. No wonder.
Kool-Aid burst.
Kool-Aid burst.
A California splash.
Now I know why people drink this shit straight up, though. It numbs the pain. I'm feeling it.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
See.
It's like, what pain do you have?
Right.
Listen,
we all got pain.
We're adults. There's pain. There's collateral damage spiritually.
Right.
So,
cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud. Congratulations, Mazel Tov, on your podcast.
Thank you.
I really like it. I was here for to observe the first episode. You guys are intellectual, brilliant, funny men.
Hey.
Oh my
who have a lot to say.
I feel pretty.
Right, I really mean it. Don't you guys need to hear that more often? Right? Instead of like, you guys are assholes.
It's true. Big up
You're healthy.
Local black man.
I was shocked to hear that you guys are like feminists at heart.
I mean,
deep down,
Stand by women.
mamas.
Right.
We got daughters and shit.
You know what I mean? What else would we be doing?
But now, how did you get started in comedy? Like, when did you start?
That's a good question. So 8 years ago, before I did the show Princesses of Long Island on Bravo TV.
That was the reality show.
That was the reality show I did.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Hopefully you guys can watch it. How about this? You guys get 50 subscribers, and I'll give you my account for free to watch Princesses of Long Island on Peacock. On Peacock. TikTok. All right, because I know you bitches want to watch this show and see how bad I am on it.
Oh, so what?
Six Jewish women from Long Island.
But and this is during the peak of the reality era.
Peak of the reality era.
That's gonna be good TV.
Versus Jersey Shore.
I feel like we learned a lot.
This is when the Kardashians came out the first season, Jersey Shore first season. So people were new to reality TV.
What?
And we were like salacious, because first of all, Jews, let's be real, the world does not, there's a lot of anti-Semitism. The world doesn't like Jewish people. We have like a stigma. So now there's like 6 Jewish women from Long Island on a reality show that are supposedly privileged, right? Allegedly. Well, my dad was trying to sell the house while we're on the show, but anyway, we'll get to that. That's like the real Jewish way. He's like, listen.
Now
like,
it's worth more.
Are you uncomfortable? Sorry.
I'm not.
But she's Jewish. It's fine.
But I can say it because I'm Jewish.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the peak, and there's 6. It was
Me
like
and
a household, like Jersey Shore, like one house, and 6 of y'all lived in it.
No, so it was me and my best friends on Long Island, and we lived in different houses with our parents. We moved back with our parents. So the premise was the boomerang generation. We didn't have it figured out. Even the privileged kids that went to college graduated, and we're shit out of luck. We have no jobs, right? So Bravo, they were fascinated by this. They're like, oh, we're going to film these bitches living with their parents, driving them crazy, and see how they don't have it together.
A generational struggle.
Yes. I was like 25 living with my parents, and we were codependent. So it was following us trying to figure it out.
Hate society.
With our own friend group, with like the Jewish trauma already, the generational, like, our parents sheltering us for a reason, right? Like, which Bravo didn't get to, because that's season 2. They unravel all that shit.
Right.
So that's pretty much.
We only had one season.
We only had one season, which was a pretty. It was highly rated, 1.2 million viewers across the world.
So did you guys? Because I remember the Jersey Shore people had the GTL stuff.
Yes.
They had the fist pump. That's why we started fucking with them, right? So was y'all doing like stereotypical Jewish stuff?
Yeah, we had like the Manischewitz, like you saw me coming in, being like, the Manischewitz is here, and I'm like, wait, I'm not like nerdy like that.
Get me canceled before I start.
Right. That was the whole thing. We almost got canceled. Like that was when cancel culture started. No one was understanding that this was. First of all, Bravo compared it to Larry David. It's like, bitch, this is not Curb Your Enthusiasm.
They pick and choose who they want to be offended at.
Correct.
Right?
They pick and choose. And so, like, when I'm coming in the scene,
Also, Jews don't really play that shit.
They don't.
Jews don't be like, yo, you can make fun of us in public.
Only we can make fun of us.
But even themselves, like, they don't let each other.
Correct.
Clearly. Like, there's certain jokes you can make in public. Like, my mom is strict.
Correct.
You can do those. But you can't. Like, even Jewish comics don't be like, Jews own the bank. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do
that.
Certain things. And when they edit those reality shows, it doesn't matter what you do.
Like the mayor of Long Island, he's Jewish. He was like, listen, this is not a good representation of the Jewish people. Like, they get serious. You're right.
Yeah,
like, and even me, when I'm a comic, and I'll be like, I'll call out a non-Jew and be like, you can't be talking about us like this. Right. I don't even talk about myself. Well, there's a fine line.
There's a line.
There is a fine.
You can throw some funny jokes out.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something that the Jewish community would allow. Like a reality show.
Right, they wanted to ban us.
They're like, no.
The mayor called my dad.
Disappeared.
Right.
Yeah, the funny thing is the mayor called my dad at the time, and my dad's Israeli, Middle Eastern, and he has a strong accent. He goes, I don't understand. What do you want me to do about this? My daughter's a flower. He goes, your daughter is a fucking worst representation of the Jewish nation. I'm cutting this shit. My dad's like, oh yeah? And they were having like a power battle. Jeez. At one point, my dad was like, yo, I have to give this up. Your dreams are, I'm sorry. Like, he really believed it. Because for a comic or an actress, right? Or an actor, this is your big break. Reality TV, I don't care what you say, you can frown upon it.
That's your shot.
That's your shot. So you're getting a shot by Andy Cohen and executives at NBC Universal, and now some mayor wants to shut it down.
Yeah,
that sucks. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing you can explain. You can't be like, no, you're right. I'm not the representation of the Jewish nation. I'm just here to live.
Right.
I'm just another Jewish girl.
I'm just existing.
Right.
Can I eat?
Right.
And I think they were also scared of like a lot of, on Long Island, there is some prejudice and racism and anti-Semitism. Suffolk County, they don't want that on TV. They don't want that. They don't want to be called out.
Right.
So they were scared that stuff was going to come out too, I believe,
Because that's kind of what happened with the blaxploitation in the 70s. It was like Al Sharpton and like Jesse Jackson who were like, you got to stop making these movies. You know what I mean? With like Foxy Brown and like the Mac and all that shit. It wasn't white people like yeah, I can't make these movies no more. It was black leaders who were like, this is demeaning to us, and these are the only movies we get to make. And then they just stopped making them.
Right. They took pay cuts for that. They took pay for that. They took money to say those things, and then there was no more black businesses because you might consider them black exploitation. But we were the ones.
Well, they were the ones. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
no, but this is smart because it's not the white people. We also thought it was like the white people from Long Island canceling us. It wasn't. It was the internal Jewish leaders that were saying this is not a representation of the. Which I understand. You're promoting more anti-Semitism. But my rebuttal when we had a press conference at the time to save the show, I said, actually, this is a way to see how Jewish people are like everybody else.
Right.
You know, we're not running around with unicorns and the stereotype. This is an opportunity that we are like the rest of the world. We fuck up like the rest of the world. We make mistakes, but this is our culture. This is, the beauty of it, the ugly, the bad, and whatever, and they didn't want to give it, they wanted to silence us, which I feel at the time was wrong, but they weren't equipped, PR and stuff. They weren't equipped to end that crisis.
But also, it can be argued that reality TV has no one's best interest in mind.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's not like reality TV producers were looking to put Jewish people in a good light.
Correct.
So,
most of the producers were Jewish, though, which is funny. But you're right. They're self-hating Jews and stuff. Like, you're right. They're not looking to put us in the best light.
I'm just saying from an outsider looking in perspective. Like, it's difficult to say, oh, go ahead, reality show. Do your thing. You have such a good track record of making us all look good. So all right, so being in reality, is there a stigma behind that?
100%. I mean, so how I got on Princesses was because I was doing 8 open mics 8 years ago. You do comedy a long time. Nobody knows you.
So you started comedy before?
I started comedy before and radio. I was a DJ on 106.1 BLI. I was like, I worked the board. I did emceeing, I emceed on a radio station,
See what you got.
I was like, hey, it's Chanel Amari, 106.1 BLI. Here's your new song by Justin Bieber.
Oh, shit.
I masturbate to it. No, I'm just kidding. I couldn't say that on the radio.
In the morning.
But I was like hustling, producing. I wrote scripts and produced for Maury Povich, Anderson Cooper, Barbara Walters, 2020. I was working at ABC for a long time. People didn't know about.
And this is before the show.
This is before the show. I had a long ass career. I was going to open mics. I was struggling after the radio station, going to shows like midnight, and still not getting my name out there because comedy, you can be in it 10 years, nobody fucking knows your name unless you have a following or you're on TV.
Right.
The producers from Truly Original, which is a production company that basically runs Bravo, they do all the Housewives of Atlanta, Housewives of New York, Summer House, all that. They're a great production company. The producers, they were holding a casting and everyone was like, who's a mover and shaker on Long Island? Yeah. And who does comedy, has improv. By the way, reality stars have acting backgrounds for everybody who doesn't understand that. They're not just, some of them are reality stars, like they don't have acting background. For the most part, they are entertainers. They've done every single category you can think of. So because they're easily produced. So when that happened, so the producers came to a show I did because people were saying on Long Island, oh, Chanel Amari, she has her hand in all the boroughs of Long Island. She's been, around. She does comedy. So then they started, and I also was working in casting at the time. That's when I was working for Maury Povich.
So you put your own name.
So I put my name. That was like taboo. I was like, you can't do that usually when you're like a producer. Like, you don't, that was like not now where you can be a producer and in front of the camera. That was totally, they're like, wait.
One before.
Exactly. My executive producer was like, wait a minute. You're too good of a producer with that baby mama drama. Are you sure you want to go in front of the camera? And I was like, yeah, this is my only shot.
So you used to call up the people to be on Maury?
Yeah, I used to give the DNA test.
Those are real people?
Those are real people.
No
I could never bring fake people. None of them was fake? None of them could be fake. If I brought on a fake story, that is liable to be fired.
But none of the stories
no, they were 100% real.
No fucking way.
I was behind
the ladies who kept coming back.
Yes,
with more and more niggas
and more. It was our
the baby fathers.
Yes,
those was real.
That was real. It was our job to filter through all the carts and get all the stories. And listen, there was times I would know it was fake, and I'm like, listen, I can't bring you on. It just sounds too fake. It doesn't. The story doesn't add up. You're basically an investigative journalist.
For one specific
thing. Maury drama. Right. Baby mama, lie detector tests were my thing. Every producer had a thing.
Oh, did
what
you
they were
used
good
to
at.
put the
Cheating men.
hose
Oh,
in
all
the
the time.
back room?
And I lived vicariously through all my relationships.
Ah, it was you.
Every time a man did me wrong, Maury's ratings went so high, I got promoted.
You invented the decoy?
Of course I did.
You invented the
Not invent- no, I didn't.
decoy, motherfucker.
I didn't invent it. I need a drink. This isn't
This is
exclusive.
exclusive.
My bosses are probably listening right now.
You set up the
Island.
Yo, you set up the. You brought out the
So
fuck
I
boy.
would be the one who would set up the fuck
You set up
boy
the fuck boy
with the decal in the room, and I produced the decoy.
Bro,
And I'd be like, you got to go in there. You got
Was
to
the
get.
decoys hoes?
No, they were
paid.
paid by us. We would hire the decoys.
I know, but was they like hoes? Because sometimes they would bust out a
some of them.
titty.
Oh yeah, of course. Like they.
So basically,
They
you
was like-
created the fuck nigga movement. Like,
but not me specifically. I did it with the whole team at Maury. I can't take all the credit.
You.
But I was
You
one
were
of
on
the
team.
producers.
I was on the team.
I was
that
on the
invented
team,
decoys.
and not to brag, it's not good to brag. This is why I quit that part of the business, because it is salacious, and if you're morally correct and you're raised right, sometimes it's hard. You know, because you're basically setting up another guy to have his life ruined, but he deserves it. But yeah, I would have to book the decoys. I would have to vet them out with Dave Vitale, who, shout out to him. He has a decoy service. He was a former policeman.
Wait, I know Dave
You know
Vitale.
Vitale.
That's the
Yeah.
fucking who is
He's
that?
on Cheaters too. All those producers from Maury, they go just to Cheaters, and then we like elevate. Then
I
we'll go
love
to, you know.
cheaters.
I love it
Cheaters
too.
is
So
Great.
trash. I
Yo,
feel
shout out to
powerful.
Peter Guns.
Bro.
Oh my God! Shout out to him. Yo, people
Shout
be
out
like
to
almost
Peter
wanting to
Gunn.
kill him.
Yo.
But people
Bro.
love Maury, even though
Let me
Maury,
tell you
like,
something.
you know.
Cheaters, I be up early in the morning on Saturday, bro. Like, we gonna see what it's gonna be today.
Yo,
But I would also write the questions for the lie
We need a
detector
black cheaters.
test. You know, they would have to take the lie detector test.
The lie detector determined that you
Are the
is
liar.
trash.
Yeah. And I remember all the guys the night before. This was my job. I'd have to be on top of the men so that they wouldn't leave the show. Because a lot of them would want to leave, and then we
They
would
get
have no
nervous.
show.
They know that shit
So
about
I'd
to
buy
fuck
them
up.
everything they want. I was like, let me go to Target for you and get you what you want, boo. Don't worry, it's all good. And he'll be like,
Oh, so
you're
you-
about
you-
to ruin my
you-
life.
You a, what they call it? You a
No,
you a
but-
massager.
A pimp.
Well,
fluffer?
kind of, I guess.
You got a mental fluffer, bro. Yeah, you should drink that. Give me that.
I guess you're right. Holy shit. They got it.
That's right.
I
Come
think
get
I
it.
need another.
Yeah,
No, I
get
think
it.
another. No. I did it with
Come
more
get it.
tact.
She
I
said
did it
what
with
that motherfucker,
I
bro.
did it with more tact. I really wanted the truth out.
Look at the dog came
And we
through
got
and there's
therapists
a
for
problem
them.
up here. Is there a problem?
We got therapists for
security.
him and stuff for
Oh.
them.
Yo,
You know,
that's
it's crazy.
Wow, bro.
So how long did you do that?
4 years.
Okay.
I started as a production
You made a
assistant.
couple of dollars. You
Yeah, I worked my way up
So you was there when they went
Why
to
didn't she
Connecticut?
buy the drinks?
to Connecticut. I was at
She did well.
Stanford. Yeah,
Okay.
now I'm not, but no, I'm kidding. But yeah, it was an experience. I really
Wow,
understood
yeah.
showbiz. When I worked on that show, I understood how everything, whether it's comedy, entertainment, talk show, whatever it is, commerce.
Right? It's an intersection.
Yep, it's all
Right.
showbiz. Everything is not for like, oh, I'm just doing this to do it because
No,
it's
for
art.
the
It's
art,
No.
right.
not for the art
Let's
ever.
be 100.
I thought it was for the art. That's why I
No,
got
when
into
you
it.
get on TV, it's all commerce and a little bit of art.
And even the
Right.
people who are having real problems, they're turning it up. But that's probably why you think it's fake, but it's not. They're turning it up too because everybody wants to be a star in their show, in their movie, you know, in their life.
And this is their shine.
There's their way to shine. Like, I knew
Right.
you were a cheater.
Right.
I'm
So
right.
you're guiding
You're
them
wrong.
using that impetus. You're guiding them
Yeah.
to where you want them to go.
Where they went, and also to
That's
stand up for
crazy.
themselves. A lot of women or men wouldn't stand up for themselves. So it was a way to get what they needed, what
Give
they
you
wanted.
voices.
DNA testing is expensive.
Right.
So, you know,
I mean, it's considerably cheaper now.
now it's
I mean,
cheaper.
y'all probably had something to do with that.
I mean,
Y'all just, you had to refine the technology.
yeah, because they were waiting to, you know, at the time when I was working back in the day, it was early 2000s. We had to get them a car to go to the DNA center. You can't just have, there was
Oh,
no
wow.
DNA
Right,
kits
kit,
at home,
right.
right? So that's also like a
Damn.
major deal. Yeah.
So the people who were there got like a dope ass weekend or like a couple
Dope
2
ass,
days?
yeah. Like we paid for their hotel, we paid for
Right.
their flight,
Wow.
we paid for their clothing.
Flew in.
Sometimes gave them per
Clothing?
diem, like money, like to
Yeah,
spend.
they
Yeah,
stylish
food.
motherfuckers.
Oh,
We tried to like make their trip worthwhile since they're exposing themselves on
Right,
TV.
right.
You know, same with us though. Then I got it back when I got on reality TV and I had to be exposed, you know.
Okay. Did you get money for reality TV?
Yes,
I heard they didn't like do that.
They
didn't pay you with that well.
They just don't pay you. No, I didn't get paid as well as people now. That's what people are fighting for now more.
Okay.
Like getting paid better as a reality TV star.
Compared to a standard like SAG act.
Right. And same with, I mean, comedy needs those rules too.
Nah, comedy's lawless.
But we're,
It's the Wild
totally
Wild West.
lawless.
You know why comedy's lawless?
I wonder,
because the people who make it have made it through that storm.
Right.
And they're like, nah. Like you can't not have the storm now. Like that's not fair.
Y'all need the storm.
Right. I was in the storm. But I mean,
I thought the goal was to improve things. I thought the goal was to improve things for the next generation. But once you've made it, you're like, nah, nigga, they need to go through that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I feel like they treat it.
You said drama? Trauma, right. But it's also like younger, like the new stuff comes out also. You know what I mean? So it's like when like TikTok and Instagram Reels became the thing, like a lot of older people just got lost.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they just don't exist anymore. So it's like, you know, that's
or
also
they adapted.
unfair.
That's why I say it's like it's never overnight. Like when you're a reality star or comedian that makes it or has a special, like you're grinding either as a producer or writer or you're working on other, you know, shows, you know, and you're getting your experience. You're creating your resume. Even this podcast today, you guys all have experience to make a podcast happen. You need most people don't do podcasts unless they have the background.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people jumping in.
Really?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, but then how many last? How many last?
They jumping in raw dog, like no stand-up experience,
no condoms, no shit. And that's
like,
the people.
We'll see what happens.
But you see, and those are the people sometimes who succeed.
But
it's not like back in my day where
they have hubris, they have fucking balls,
right?
And they shoot, and you can't be mad at them.
Where for me, my executive producers would tell me, "Yo, you better put your dues in. I don't care what you say. You're never going to get anywhere in Hollywood unless you put your dues or you pay your dues."
That's OG.
Now in this generation, right? They're OG. This generation, they don't care about. They're like, pay my dues. I'm just amazing. You should put me on stage.
Well, the thing is, now you can get your own audience. Like when I was younger, you couldn't get your own audience. I mean, you could like stand on the street, but even doing that, because we used to do everything. Like I used to bark, I used to bring, I used to produce, I used to sell tickets, I used to go to stores and leave. You know, I used to go to stores and be like, "You guys sell these tickets and keep the money. Just sell the ticket." You know what I mean? And I like hang a poster, and they wouldn't sell nothing. You know what I mean? Like they just would have them after the show was done. I would come back. These niggas would give me the tickets back. I was like, "Why you ain't?" Like, what the fuck?
Well, that's the thing, right? You know how to produce your own show. You know how to, do, I'm sure that gave you experience,
what I was doing was a whole different skill set than like posting a reel every day. You know what I mean? Like, that's really how you build your crowd now. And that's a whole different skill set because I don't really know how to do that. Like, I can post a reel like every 3 days, maybe. You know what I mean?
It's a lot of work.
And I can't do that consistently. I can post a reel once every 3 days for like 3 weeks and then take a month off. But yeah, I mean, that's all. Like some of these cats, like Kai Cenat and all these guys, guys are streaming all fucking day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have like Twitch and like now it's the Discord, and I don't know anything about that. That's real millennial young shit.
No, that's Gen Z now.
That's
we on a whole
Z, right? Gen Z, and I mean,
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like I think you have to know how to, I was writing. So basically also for Maury, when we had to do the entertainment segments, I was a joke writer. I was already in comedy. So who are they going to pick out of the whole team, right? There's also competition with producers. Why did they give me the segments? Because I was variety. I had variety and I was well versed in different things.
Right.
Some of the producers are just like, I'm only doing conflict. I'm only working on being the best producer for baby mama drama. And so I used to start writing jokes for Maury.
Subdivision.
Yeah. And he loved that.
Everything in show business.
Everything in show business.
Even like bartenders at comedy clubs. These niggas at each other's necks.
Well, they think they're the celebrities, these wait staff. Love you guys. But they think they're like
better than the comedian.
They think they're they're like, "Hi, pay attention to me. I just made you a fucking shitty ass bourbon, but you know what? Pay attention to me. The comic
she's not lying, bro. They be
but we don't talk about that enough. And that's the problem. Like we're enabling that generation. Like if that happened back in my day,
Bitch, you are replaceable.
No, I would be working for Maury and bartending and still not getting a break. My executive producer would be like, yo, that script sucked. I don't know what you're thinking, you know?
And what else do you do?
Sorry, yeah. Which I don't get why that happened. I don't know how that happened, where it's like, maybe it's fixated on waitresses and waiters being good looking only and like feeling very entitled. No, but feeling very entitled. Like because they're making a lot of money, they feel entitled more than the comic or the artist. But you know.
Yeah, I mean obviously they do better than the comics do.
Right.
With money wise.
They're making more, right. Like you
know it
for me.
They know it.
You work for me.
Right. You work for me. It's not the other way around. 100%. Yeah.
So what are your goals? What are your comedy goals?
Comedy goals. That's a good question. I would love to just get, an hour special, but really work hard at it and make it really funny.
Okay.
Put it out there.
How are you going about pursuing that?
So I feel like now we have the social media YouTube aspect platform, so we don't need to target the networks. No. How I would do it, and if I was everybody out there that wants to do it, first of all, anybody can make a special. So there's no rules like wait and like you're not ready. That's like bullshit comedy community. Hollywood is like, you're not ready, get in the fucking chair and we're gonna make you ready. So I come from that school. You know what I mean? You gotta be ready at all times. It's not like, oh, I'm not ready.
What is that? First, you have to define what's ready mean.
Right. Well, listen.
What does ready mean to you? If you say you're ready to go do an hour, what does that entail? Okay,
I'll tell you the truth. Honestly, it's just writing about my life and joke and
what you know,
throw
right?
what I know. What Cedric the Entertainer taught me was because he said I was too focused on joke, punchline. He's like, I'm not about that. I'm a storyteller comic. So I'm gonna get up there. I'm gonna tell a story, and it might be 10 minutes in, you're not gonna hear laughs. And you have to be comfortable with that, Chanel. You have to sit in that. And I said, oh, okay. So I'm learning from now this school. This is a man I looked up to my whole life who's the king of comedy.
Right.
I'm not going to argue with him.
Right.
And then there's these open micers being like, no, Chanel, you got to do the punchline. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face right now before I turn gangster on you.
Here's the thing about that.
Because I'm not about to like bomb at a theater for Cedric the Entertainer because this motherfucker's telling me, Joe, punch.
Well, I will say, Cedric is giving you his advice from his platform.
Right, I get it.
These guys give you from there. So then somewhere in there is where you are.
Correct.
That's Cedric. That's these motherfuckers.
Correct.
Somewhere in there is you, and you have to determine where that is and work from there.
And that's what and thank you for answering that. That was the answer.
Right.
Working on where I want to go with that special and getting the laughs, even if it's crowd work. And listen, of course there's a thing to joke punch, but let a comic be a comic how they want to be. If they're getting the laughs, our job is to entertain the room. They're not leaving the comedy club saying, Chanel said that punchline about feminism. No, they're leaving saying, that girl was funny. She said a lot of things that were relatable. She talked, a lot of things that were jokes.
When people tell you to make the stories like drawn out, like you want to draw people, the thing about comedy is there's so many comedians.
Right.
There's just so many.
He's being nice.
So it's like,
he's being nice.
There's
so many. And it's like to stand out, you have to be something, they have to remember something about. So you can't just make a joke about something generic or what have you. Even if it gets laughs consistently. You know what I mean? You can do a tight 30 every time you go up. But if your 30 is about, your 30 is not memorable to you. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you think about even the shit that like Chappelle was doing with the trans stuff. Yeah. That, like, if he just did material about his life, you know what I mean? He would not have gotten that much attention. You know what I mean? Because he became the trans comedian guy thing. Right. And then even other comics like the puppet guy, you know what I mean? You can argue whether he's funny or not. He stands out. You remember him. Yes. What's his name? The racist puppet. We don't even know his name, but we know who the fuck I'm talking about. Right. And that's how you describe comedians that you've seen. You'd be like, it was this girl, and she was,
the one that does a joke about the
she was fucking loud. She was talking about sex. She was TV. Yeah, that's how they say.
That stood out. Or is this dude he was talking about?
But one thing you taught me, Simeon de la Creme. Simeon
Simeon
Goodson.
Delacreme.
Am I saying it so white? Delacreme. Don't you say that on your Instagram? Is that your Instagram?
No, I mean, Simeon Delacreme is the first time I've ever
heard the whole.
How do you say it? How do you
Sim
say it?
Delacreme.
Sim Delacreme. Okay.
Creme de la creme?
Sim Delacreme. Right.
Simeon Delacreme is a whole different dude.
That nigga is.
That's a international
I made
spy.
that person
That's
up.
an international spy right there.
Like a preppy spy. Sim, well, when we were talking off, how it's good to have that storyteller, but where I want to get to is, have those jokes too, that no matter what, you're entertaining that crowd. You're saying those witty.
Knows you.
They know
They
you.
trust you enough to open up. You have to create the space for them to show up. And you do that with the boom, 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 boom.
Correct.
Early, right? And you
so I want the happy medium of all of
it. And then you get here's some high value shit. Here's some insider shit that's because you were so great with these, that here we are. We're rewarding what's intimate shit. Yeah. And that's what people, they give an opportunity to know you.
Correct.
They get an opportunity to hear and to connect and to be like,
I just want to entertain and really make people feel good and not fake wise, real, authentically.
You got a story.
Make them feel well. Yeah, good and laughing, less alone. Now I have, I would say, a solid good 15 minutes. Okay. But I'm working on more.
Quarter of the way.
Quarters.
Yeah, quarters.
Quarter of the way.
I want to work on a 20-minute. I want to have a 30-minute.
Right.
I want to have, but I do have 30 minutes, but that's more stories. So I agree with you got to cut that down, flush it out, make more jokes.
All right. So you're cooking with your second,
but I'm cooking it,
15. So what is your approach to extrapolating on the 15? Because you have to create to create an arc for an hour, right?
For an hour. So or 30 minutes. I also think, by the way,
get Jason in here because he knew too.
People
he need to hear this shit.
People love also. They have an attention span, of 30 minutes. Hey, Jason, how are you? Hey.
Simeon got hungry and deflated.
Oh shit! Simeon's like, I don't want to hear this anymore. No, I'm kidding. But no, I think because we have social media, YouTube. If you want to put something out there, put it out there, whether it's perfect or not. You can do it at a venue that will partner up with you. You know what I mean? You can write the jokes. You can collaborate with other comedians and writers. And for me, that's where I'm at. I produce my own show, the All-Star Comedy Show, once a month. We did it. We used to do it at the Stand and Grizzly Pear. We did it at every single shop. Now we're doing it at the Ainsworth, which is Midtown. The Ainsworth. It's an upscale sports bra lounge.
Fucking gastropub, as they call it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's very sexy. They have a rooftop.
Good steaks.
It's great for comedy. They're innovative. They want more business. So to them, they've never had a comedy show. So portions of the proceeds go towards City Harvest because I always want to give back through comedy.
Beautiful.
So we feed the hungry in New York City,
Altruistic.
So we're trying to do that. For me, I don't have the luxury for the clubs booking. I have to fight as a woman. Then now it's based on looks. I'm not about that. It's not that I'm putting my looks down. I do think I'm pretty and confident.
You don't present.
But there's, what I'm saying? There's universally
I know what you're talking about.
Models are doing fucking comedy now. How am I gonna upkeep or compete with a model?
But so
you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be innovative and do other things. I'll get the housewives, the Real Housewives, because I have a connection with Bravo. They'll come on my podcast. I'll get them to come to the comedy show, up the ante where you get to see them as celebrity guests at my comedy show. You know what I'm saying? So I might not be passed at every club and people might not think I'm funny enough, but for me, I'm just out here cooking, selling art, trying to make people feel less alone because I feel alone, or trying to make people feel good and make them laugh. And that's really my goal.
Wow,
through entertainment.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
I can't believe the Jewish community is
right?
100% behind you. Because you are fucking hustling.
Thank you, I am.
It's amazing.
Isn't that y'all thing?
Yeah.
It is their thing. I think now they're having more appreciation.
I think that
for me being more independent.
What it was, I think for Jewish people in New York, it was a thing we don't talk about how we be doing it. Yeah. And I'm like, you have to, this is the age of information.
Exactly.
You have to tell people, you have to model the behavior you want people to see. especially when you are a hustler.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you? That's how it was in my community as well. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, say that's a weird like similarity between the Black and Jewish community.
Of course.
100%.
We've been taught that we gotta keep this
There's a shame.
On the low.
But it's like, no, this will help. Like, it's
You
like,
know-
Like
do
some
you
of my
know-
best friends
do
are
you-
like Black women because we had that in common.
Right.
So
Suppressed.
about
everywhere.
like everybody wanting to know the information. Like, how did the Black community do it? How did they succeed? How did the Jewish community? Because we don't talk. We don't say
We
shit.
don't share.
We just do.
We just
Yeah.
do. And we can't talk about what we do.
but like, and
chose us
you
back.
whisper it to, you know, your boy or two, but like,
No.
they're not even the
Go-
best. Like, your boy don't even be the best person to give the advice. Like, I know
You're not the one you want
I
to give
know
it to.
you gonna fuck this up.
Right.
I know homie down the street will do so, like, he's done so much on his
Well,
own.
that's the point I'm making. I think
And it's-
that both communities were kind of you know instilled that you know there's shame in
Damn, yeah.
sharing how to get better or how to get more. When blue blood, I've been in rich and millionaire situations when all they do is talk about how to grow wealth.
Right.
Golf is literally all they do is play golf in the background of discussing how to grow wealth.
Right.
What I did this year, what I did this month with this thing, how this grew.
They're sharing resources
They're
together. They have each
sharing
other's back.
information.
Yeah.
Men do that.
Well, that's the
Men
thing.
do that.
These white men do that.
But also, I feel like, I don't know about the Black community, but as the Jewish
weren't doing
community,
that.
I feel like we're also scared that the white man, not to be like the white man, is also going to take from us with more information, right?
Yeah.
Like, we knew that already. We were all slaves. So we knew, like, giving them the power is giving people more information is just going to give them power and then give them power to control. That's how I know I was
That's
raised.
fair. That's
You
fair.
know, and it's, you know, coming from a Colombian, Middle Eastern, like, Jewish background, it's like,
you are layered.
yeah, I'm layered. I'm like, I'm
Good
saying it
sandwich.
so like, right. But it was instilled in my head, you know, you're not gonna be the prettiest in the room, the smartest. You're gonna have to figure out other ways.
You're gonna have to be the most
innovative.
clever, and you're gonna have to take the best notes and then
Correct.
execute, come up with a plan, the best
And
plan.
not tell anybody about it. Like a ninja.
I think all of us agree here. No matter where we are on the spectrum, you got to come up with an effective plan
Yes.
to overcome and overtake.
But also be
Yeah.
yourself too. It's like everybody
Of
wants to know the
course. Well,
formula, but
so
like
yeah.
even the three of you, I sat here to, you know, you guys have amazing chemistry and your dynamic. I can't take that from you. Like, I can't be who you are.
Right.
You know, I can't take that authenticity from you or the
we
cleverness.
live this shit.
And it's so much, like, I feel like, of, like, living your own life.
Yes,
Like,
living your own life.
And your different experiences to make, one, a better comic, but also
A better human being.
Right.
are your gateway.
Yeah, and I feel like also doing Bravo, I remember having a conversation with Andy Cohen. I'll never forget this.
Tell me about this.
He
before you go.
sat me down and he was like, Chanel, let me tell you something. If you give a shit what anybody thinks in this business, I'm telling you right now, this isn't for you. I don't care if you're doing. I'm like, but no, I'm a stand-up comic. I'm not really a reality star. He goes, honey, get off your high horse because stand-up comic, reality star, actor, we're all the same shit,
Hoes.
right? We all hoes.
Hoes.
And you can't think you're better than the next, and you just have to kind of be. Just be. You got to roll with the punches. And I'll never forget it. He's like, be proud of who you are at every moment, and that's how people are gonna stop fucking with you. You know?
Can I ask you 3 questions before we get out of here? Are you go with the flow hoe? Are you wait and see hoe? Or are you an honorable hoe?
Damn, I've been all three.
Go with the flow. Wait and see.
I've been honestly all three, and I hate to admit it. And I don't want to be, but I want to be the third one.
You want to be an honorable.
I want to be an honorable hoe. I want to be like.
You're on the right show.
Meaning,
this is
like, you know
right.
what I mean? Like, I want to be realistic, so I don't want to be that crazy hoe, but I also want to create boundaries, and I want to be the
there's a
girlfriend.
spectrum, right?
Yeah.
There's a spectrum. So you're saying you want to be somewhere in between wait and see and go and be an honorable.
Right.
That's when you're in the right show.
I want a man to take me. Well, if we're talking about relationships, yes.
Okay.
But if we're talking about business,
Overall.
yeah, I want people to know that I'm cool, I'm chill, but also
I have a line.
I have a line, and I want to be respected just like I respect everybody else, you know.
Right.
And I want to be the star sometimes too, or I want to be complimented too. I don't want to just be the one giving
I
compliments.
think you are sensational.
Thank you.
You're also on the right show.
Thank you.
Please clap it up for our fantastic first guest, Miss Chanel. Clap it up. I like being honorable. I'm an honorable host.
You're an
One honorable hold
okay.
another. We love you. We appreciate
Thank
you.
you. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Simeon, thank you.
Simeon de la Creme.
De la Creme. Sim de la Creme.